What's up, you guys? Welcome to White Tea Talking.
Big C.
It's your boy KG.
So in Okinawa, the Air Force Base, that's where I was, and it's one of the biggest bases in the military.
Yeah.
And it's made up of two parts. So you have the base, you have all your housing units, your flight line, all this kind of stuff, and then you have the munitions area. You keep all the bombs for the planes. Well, we used to call it the MUNS area.
Okay.
So basically, that is it's almost a separate entity in itself from the actual base, but it's still a part of it.
Yeah.
And it in itself, it was actually bigger than the base.
Okay.
And basically, it's just a jungle. That they carved road and silos and put bombs in. So yeah, it's literally the jungle.
I don't know what that's saying.
So there's two quick stories. So we actually would hire. We hired these guys that were locals. We called them CGs. The civilian guard was their title.
Okay.
So these were Japanese locals that we hired. They wore uniforms. We even armed them. They carried 9mm Berettas, same as our police officers did.
Okay.
So they actually ran that whole area. They had their own vehicles. They had their own little, command structure, all that kind of stuff. They did their own thing. And a lot of the people that actually worked in that area would go there on their off time to like sightsee.
Yeah.
Because it was pretty cool. They actually had some really cool stuff out there.
I know, it sounded pretty cool.
Yeah, they had a waterfall. They had statues that had been around since World War II, those kind of things. So a lot of the guys that worked in the munitions area would come in there just to goof around on their time off.
Yeah. So
there was one night we got a call. It's kind of funny. We got a call from a guy that went sightseeing. He had a 4x4 all-terrain vehicle. Got stuck in the mud. Said something creeped up on him, and he got freaked out. So he ran probably about a mile all the way to the gate to get to the guards. And so he looked it. He saw something. Something like came up on him because there was a rumor that there was an old building that the CIA used to interrogate prisoners during Vietnam. That they would transport Vietnamese prisoners of war down to Okinawa, and they would keep them there. And then there was a building where they supposedly did all kinds of horrific things to get them to talk. So anyway, he went to go see that, and his trip got cut short, to say the least. His truck got stuck in the mud, and then he tried to get it out, and then I guess whatever was lurking around creeped up on him. So I go out there to respond, and he's just he's talking in tongues basically at the gate with the guards, and they said, well, they were laughing because they were used to it.
Yeah.
And they said, well, his car is about a mile back that way. We're gonna take one of our trucks and pull him out.
Yeah.
We have a tow hitch and all this kind of stuff on this truck, and we got a pulley and all that kind of stuff. So okay, cool. So I go to get in the car with him, and I noticed that the rearview mirrors were flipped up, and I was like, whatever. Maybe they just don't like dealing with it. So we go out. Two vehicles go out there on the truck.
That's weird.
I'll tell you why here in a second. So we go out of the truck, pull the guy's stuff out. We get back, and I started looking in the other cars, same thing. And I said, why do y'all do that? And they said, they started laughing. They said, we do not want to see ghosts. Yeah, that's one guy told me. He was just driving along back there, and he said he looked in the back seat, and two people were sitting behind him.
Oh.
And so that's how real it was for these guys.
No.
That they just don't even want to deal with it. They just flip the rearview mirrors.
Just imagine, you just...
Oh, they.
Oh! You look back, there's nobody there, but you look back in the mirror, they just looking at you like this.
Yep.
Oh, man.
No, I'm good. One guy told me he saw a Japanese soldier walking around. And I remember the day it happened too, because they actually they called it in as a possible intrusion.
Yeah.
And they were getting all going and calling everybody, and I think somebody came across the perimeter because at this point the munitions area technically was off base.
Yeah.
But it was fenced, so we considered that still military property. But it was actually off base. It was like another part of the base. So a lot of times civilians would, sometimes they'd wander around and end up getting through the fence some kind of way or whatever. I mean, it would happen. It wasn't totally uncommon. So they called, got the troops and everything, and they went to go try to find this person, and they could never find anybody. And the guy told me that it was a guy that was walking around looking lost and confused, wearing like old military Japanese, uniforms and stuff like that. And so he drew a description of it to let us know he wasn't totally crazy.
Yeah.
And it was just like, wow, that's crazy, man. But
man.
We could go all day about this stuff, but
Oh no, man! Especially like some of my most infamous ghost stories I've ever had is when I worked in the prison.
Oh, I bet.
Like in an old death row unit, and I kid you not, I've seen the most creepiest things. 2 instances. One, I was working night shift, and it's probably like 2:30 in the morning. Mm-hmm. And because usually we had count at 9, 10, 11, then you had it at 12:30, 1:30, 2:30, and then 3, 4, and then in the morning when day shift came, you do one more at 6 right before shift change.
Yeah.
So it's 2:30, and I just get done counting. So I'm sitting on the steps, and I'm adding up my count, making sure everybody here. And usually after I add my count, I will go back and I'll walk just to see if everybody was all right. Hit it with the flashlight, see if everybody was breathing.
Yeah.
Doing a health check. I'm on the stairs, and I was on the death row cell block where all the death row inmates used to be. So I'm sitting on the stairs and everything. I'm on the first row, and I think the SSI, basically like the janitor of the block, was still there. And so I hear footsteps, like, in that concrete, you can hear boots just hard, walk hard. Mm-hmm. So I hear them. So I'm looking back up on SSI. His last name was Stewart. SSI Stewart. Look back and I stand up, and all I see is a white shirt. Like, cause it was so high, like I couldn't see his legs. Mm-hmm. All I see is a white shirt, and it's walking towards the back. And I knew there was another set of staircases on the back, so I thought he was coming down. Mm-hmm. So I didn't do nothing about it. I just turned back around, was finishing my count. So after I finished, I set it on the bars with my notebook. And I turned back around to see if he was still up there. I walked all the way down the run, all the way back up to where third row, second row is, walked back down, didn't see nobody. They took the inmate that was on 5 cell on the run row, was like, "Boss man." I was like, "What's up?" He was like, "You seen the ghost, huh?" As soon as he said that, guess who walked up to the cell door waiting on the hall boss to let him in? My SSI. So, boss man, you saw that ghost.
Oh, shit.
He's like, we see him walk around all the time, and we don't know who he is, but they think that he died on this block. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh, that messed me up on the day. Then I was on.
Goodness, man.
I'm telling
That's
you.
creepy, man.
I was like, what? Because he didn't.
So they weren't even surprised.
No, they like a lot of them, and when they sleep, and I knew it, but they always tell me like, we don't like birds flying in. That's what they used to tell me. Mm-hmm. But I was like, the windows are closed up here. Like, yeah. So unless a bird flies down through one row and everything, the windows usually closed up here because y'all throw food and trash and everything in the windows, so we close them. And then after that, they was like, no, that's why they put their sheets up, because he only walks up there. So they put their sheets up so if they awake at night and they're reading a book or something, they don't want to look at it and see a ghost staring at them walking past.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, oh, okay. Then it was a day working night shift. I was on the old SEG wing. Mm-hmm. So I'm walking, it was actually a dude named Cruz. He used to be in the military, and he just got done talking about the military. And me and him were walking, and a dude was getting ready for transport. He's about to go home. So we was getting all these things ready, and with the segments, we have to take everything out their cell while they're in the cell. See how much he is, like account for all his items, and then pack it up for him. Yeah. And then set it outside the cell with the transport tags and everything on it. So as we're doing that, it's a metal table like underneath this big old window right next to the door that leads into the rec yard. I turn back around, I said, "Hey Cruz, you forgot your flashlight." As I grab his flashlight, I know the flashlight is off. Yeah. I tried to tell myself that the flashlight was on and it was my shadow. Yeah. But it clarified, this inmate right across from me clarified for me, "Boss man, I seen him too." When I kid you not, I get chills talking about it, man. The rec yard was so steep, when you went outside and stood outside, you couldn't see through the window. But I kid you not, I seen that whole man's torso just a black figure, bigger than me, like your size.
Oh wow.
As I walked, he walked right behind me slowly, but he was outside. And I caught him out the corner of my eye and I froze. And I said, Cruz, did you see that? And I just froze in one spot. He said, what are you talking about? I said, it's a man outside, man. It's a man outside. And he was like, no, it's not. I said, man, I'm not playing with you. It's a dude outside. We go outside, look on the rec yard, nothing. I check all the cages, nothing. I go back inside, and the inmate that was in 5 said, he was like, I seen him 2 blocks away.
Oh wow.
He said, that man looked like he was bigger than me.
Yeah.
And I was like, you serious? And he was like, I was like, I'm not tripping. He's like, no, boss man. He said, he stopped at the beginning of the window, turned, looked like he looked at you, turned back, and walked as you walked. And then when you stopped, he kept walking, went behind the wall, and disappeared. After that night, I called my lieutenant.
Oh my goodness.
Take me to F me. I don't want to be down here no more.
I thought my stories were bad.
No.
Gosh.
Because he said the figure stopped, looked at me,
It came towards you.
and was walking right behind me, but the figure was outside the window. And it was no way because they had lights outside the window. So any reflection should have never casted a shadow on the window.
Oh my goodness, man.
Oh, y'all go. Please hit that bell and that like button. Let us know in the comments. It's your boy KG.
Big C.
We out.